Now, this whole history, recent history of the global women's rights movement is a very controversial one, even among feminists. And I don't want to take time on this. But let me just say that when I was trying to work within the context of my mandate as rapporteur, of course, I was dealing with governments. Identifying violence, identifying the problems of women is not enough. You have to work and find entry points where change can be stimulated. And what I heard over and over again in my fact-finding missions in all countries, and I visited 70 countries of very diverse geographies, very diverse cultural and legal traditions, they would tell me, oh, our culture. Every talk would start with, oh, our culture. One of the last countries I visited was Moldova. We were talking with the chief prosecutor. The chief prosecutor started saying, well, our culture, blah, blah, blah. I said to him, with all due respect, Mr. Prosecutor, I hear this in every country. Is this really the Moldovan culture, or is it the universal patriarchal culture? I think we need to make that distinction. And he sat back and laughed, and he said, you're right. So our culture is being hijacked, and we often take it for granted that this is our culture. I think we need to constantly interrogate the cultural discourse in our own struggles, because otherwise we're also fragmented, and already there are different positions that women's groups are adopting. Women of the global south are rightfully rejecting and resenting Western feminism as having dominated and imposed a Western perspective on their struggles. This is a problematic situation from my perspective, because I think the minute we start taking this kind of stand, we create other compartmentalizations. And our success so far has been built on the joint struggle. Different, but joint. So how do we maintain diversity both between countries and societies and cultures, and also be aware of diversity within cultures? And that's where I think continued dialogue among women is crucial. And in that sense, I very much appreciate the work done by WLP, because I think that's precisely what they're doing, without necessarily imposing a certain perspective. And it is through this kind of dialoguing and sharing of experiences that we can confront the very serious challenges ahead of us of imposition of the cultural discourse, but beyond that, the fundamentalist trends that have been severely politicizing and radicalizing difference of cultures and so forth. And I think some of these issues are going to be taken up in the next session. But let me just stop by saying that within this context of such dialogue across cultures, with all its limitations, I truly believe that the human rights framework provides immense opportunities that we as women have not yet fully exhausted to our advantage. I think we need to engage more with the human rights mechanisms and turn them to as powerful tools for our own struggles. All states today, whether they are fundamentalist states, anti-woman states, so-called democratic states, are part of an international community where they go and adopt and sign and make commitments to certain human rights declarations and conventions. Well, there has to be some accountability of this. And we need to hold our governments and the international community accountable. And this is a strategy that requires cross-cultural dialogue and solidarity among women. Thank you very much.
Thank you.